Greetings, folks. Tuesday, the 29th of March. My worst fears have been confirmed. That is, that this was an attempt on Justice Clarence Thomas's life. So I'm going to go live right now for you. And of course, this will be uploaded. I'm going to read from the internet. And I hate when the other son of a bitches read from it. I know it's boring as hell, so please forgive me. Let me pop up the size of the screen as well. I got a mess of paperwork, and I've really got to get some things done here. I kind of like this other headline about Justice Sotomayor. I wish that one was true. I'm sorry, I just don't like racists very much. Okay, this is from Real Raw News. Supreme Court Justice Clarence Thomas poisoned. All right, you got to remember that Justice Anton Scalia was murdered. Let's see if I can get this thing set up a little bit better. All right, that's a little bit better. He was murdered, pillow over his face at the boys' ranch, a Democrat ranch. Evidently, he liked chasing and buggering little boys. They gave him notice and let him do his favorite pastime one more time. That's what the story is. I know it's an ugly story. I don't know if it's true or not. I sure as hell wasn't there. I can guarantee you that. And they actually killed him in his sleep, and he submitted to them. And there was a judge in Texas that okayed the lack of autopsy on a Supreme Court justice. And of course, Hillary Clinton's daughter talked about this death. Anton Scalia before it happened? Wow. Is she a prophetess? Chelsea Clinton? Stories that Supreme Court Justice Clarence Thomas was admitted to Sibley Hospital in Washington, D.C. after physicians diagnosed him with a viral infection are mostly false, said a high-ranking, white-hat military source who claims our nation's tenured conservative justice ingested a near-lethal dose of thallium. New World Order people love using thallium, folks. Killed a lot of people in Britain and other places with that stuff. Tasteless, odorless, colorless, and odorless, thallium is a chemical element with the symbol Tl and the atomic number 81. Anyway, these compounds have been restricted or banned in many countries because of their non-selective toxicity. Because of its historic popularity as a murder weapon, thallium has gained notoriety as the poisoner's poison and inheritance powder. Jeez. After falling ill, Justice Clarence Thomas and his wife Virginia dined at Mozzie's, an upscale eatery in downtown D.C. Several hours later, he experienced symptoms such as difficulty concentrating, gastrointestinal distress, shortness of breath, vomiting, and diarrhea. He had initially attributed the symptoms to a nasty case of heartburn and gastrointestinal reflux disease and taken Tums and Mylanta to ease the discomfort, but his symptoms worsened and his complexion grew pallid. His wife insisted he visit the hospital. Oh, thank God for his wife. Woo! Sibley Hospital physicians tested him for COVID-19, negative. Administered a battery of tests included a comprehensive blood panel. Either by intent or sheer incompetence, physicians diagnosed him with nonspecific upper respiratory viral infection. An ordinary person would have been sent home with antibiotics. But Justice Thomas, owing to his position on the bench, was admitted for observation. When we learned the next day Supreme Court Justice Thomas got sick and was admitted to Sibley, well, it aroused suspicions for two very important reasons. First, we've heard reports the deep state might try to take out conservative justices, retaliation for Sotomayor's arrest and impending execution. God, that's still news to me. Second, for people of, say, judicial prominence, it's customary they be sent to Walter Reed for admission. We considered it a real possibility this was a deep state attack, our source said. Well, I'm just glancing through this. White Hat military commanders discreetly visited Sidley and communicated their suspicions to Justice Clarence Thomas's wife, urging her to enforce the medical power of attorney she had on her husband to at once extract him from Sidley. At that point, we were sure of nothing. We were going on pure speculation, but we genuinely believed Supreme Court Justice Thomas' life might be in danger, even though he was ambulatory. The physicians at Sydney cautioned against taking him from the hospital. She at first was apprehensive, but then they agreed to have him moved, our source said. The White Hats, he added, hurriedly transported Supreme Court Justice Thomas as a precaution. His wife to a secret location where their physicians could rigorously evaluate his condition. A blood test on Supreme Court Justice Thomas confirmed their worst suspicions. Someone had poisoned him. A urinalysis corroborated the blood work. Supreme Court Justice Thomas had markedly high concentrations of thallium in his bloodstream. The blood work at Sydney wouldn't have shown it. There's absolutely no way that the doctors could have missed it. I'm not leveling accusations at any specific person or persons, but we don't yet have the full facts. But we'll get to the bottom of this, our source said. It's not making sense to me. Under care of White Hat doctors, Supreme Court Justice Thomas received treatments of Prussian blue, a medication that flushes thallium through the digestive tract. Also, he received several hemodialysis treatments to remove. He was able to cover. We assume he ate poisoned food at the restaurant, but can't absolutely confirm that because thallium can be administered in small doses slowly over time or in one large lethal dose. The investigation is ongoing. Look, folks, I don't like passing on bad information, but in this day and age, we have to be very, very vigilant. We have to be very careful. And of course, Biden and the libtards want to pack the court. I don't believe this other headline about Sonia Sotomayor here hanged at Gitmo. I think we would all hear about that. What are they going to do? Weekend at Bernie's with her like they did with that other, you know what I want to say, with that other female, and they kept her working for 9 more months after she had passed away? I'm sorry, folks. Libtards don't play fair. They aren't fair. They're never going to be fair. They certainly don't fight fair. And if they can get rid of Justice Clarence Thomas, they will. Right now, there are several major cases considering the Second Amendment before the Supreme Court. There haven't been cases before the Supreme Court in a long time, and we need Justice Clarence Thomas and his good wisdom and his common sense. Oh, Lord, protect his soul. Protect this man. Okay, I listened to the Duran. I went halfway through their live stream from yesterday, which is like 2 hours and 42 minutes long. I went through it long enough to, at this point, believe that there really is a war over the Ukraine, and the Ukrainians are getting their asses kicked. Not only that, but the Ukraine is not being run locally from the Ukraine, and the people that are running it, Barack Hussein Obama, is keeping his mouth quiet because he's actually destroyed our country here in a very slow fashion. So you folks can expect to pay about $20 for a loaf of bread next year. If things don't go right, that's where we're headed. And we got it coming because we let the Khazarian jackasses take us over. They've got a stranglehold on our nation. All during my life, American might has been projected illegally, unfairly across the planet. You talk about war crimes. We've got blood on our hands here. Trump would never have allowed this to have happened. That's for sure. And my Democrat friends who say, oh, it doesn't matter who's in the White House. Oh, really? It does matter. This is Barack Obama's third term, boys and girls. This is bad, real bad. What do I want you to do? I want you to push for getting this guy out of the White House. He's insane. He's nuts. He's not mentally stable. He's demented. He's controlled. He's not running the show. What's that guy's name? His chief of staff? Man, these guys need to be tried for the treason against the country at this point. What they did in the Ukraine and what they're pushing for is war, World War III, and they made it clear they want Putin out of office, out of power over there. And the Russian people are together, and they're not going to let it happen. They're not going to let it stand. And these people that say we have bigger and better weapons, I don't give a damn about that. I don't want to fight them. You know, I think they've got bigger and better weapons than we have. And not only that, Europe is lost at this point. Germany is screwed. They've lost their cheap energy. They've lost their ability. They've lost their standard of living. What's more, we've lost our standard of living. And so the dollar will no longer be the world's reserve currency. It's going to be hard as hell to keep track of things. It's going to be real hard for our businessmen to do business now, all because of this jackass in the White House. And I don't care how he got there. I don't give a damn if he was elected fairly and squarely. He's not fit for office. And that woman he dragged up there with him, she's worse than he is. She's not competent at all. And then what? We're going to have what? President Nancy after that? Pelosi? Folks, you deserve it. You got it coming after what you did and what you've been doing. You think it doesn't matter who's in that office. You think you can run roughshod over the rest of the earth and reap the rewards. Oh, and it might trickle down from the elite. No, folks, it doesn't trickle down from the elite. They keep it all. And what you've done is you just played yourselves more into their clutches. The Ukrainian army is being decimated, and they should stand down and surrender so we can save those young Ukrainian men. There's beautiful women in the Ukraine, and you expect they're going to forgive us for taking their youth away, taking their men away? And that government, that's not a proper Ukrainian government. That's the one Barack Hussein Obama put in office. And while Trump was holding the fort down, they couldn't do this stuff. They didn't do anything for 4 years. But we never gave Trump free rein. He didn't even have a presidency as far as I'm concerned. And the man's got it coming. He's got 2 more terms coming. So you folks better cause a fuss out there and get Trump back in there. You don't have much of a choice. If you want a standard of living, you got to bring him back. If you want a future, you got to bring him back. If you don't want World War III, you got to bring him back. You got to get rid of these people that are in there. I don't care how you do it. What did they want to use on Trump? The 25th Amendment? And now they won't follow common sense and relieve us of this guy? What, they're afraid of Kamala Harris? Even Willie Brown warned us he didn't want her for president or vice president. Yeah, it matters. And being lax at the polls matters too. Who can have faith in this government? Blind faith. All right, I'm out of here. Supreme Court Justice Clarence Thomas was, in my opinion, poisoned. An attempt was made on the gentleman's life. We are in war, an atypical war. This is not merely psychological or a spiritual war, but we're forced to fight it spiritually. We're forced to fight it with our hands tied behind our back and our feet shackled. They've been waging this war on the United States of America since easily World War II. We didn't win World War II. We lost it. We don't understand it. And I can't mention his name, but I remember quite often the line in the movies, and I don't know if it was the reality or not, that they marveled at his genius and they listened to him and how they could not lose no matter what. And we know that that gentleman survived the war, and he was in Antarctica for quite a while, and then in Argentina, and he lived to the ripe old age of 91, just like my own father did. And you people think he was the most vile, evil person? I don't think so. It's not that I don't think anybody couldn't be as evil as what they made him out to be, but he actually was loved. He actually did good things for his country. He loved his country, and he got rid of the usurious bankers and restored their economy rather quickly. Folks, if we went back to our roots, the original form of government, right down to the original 13th Amendment, and honest money, within 2 years we could have this thing turned around. Not only that, but the rest of the world would jump for joy because they would see it, and all ships would rise with that tide. We do need Pax Americana, not Pax the United States of America. Which one of the 4 corporations are we going to be talking about at that? They do subtle stuff, folks. They're sly, they're deceivers. They're name changers. They're identity thieves. They pull this stuff off for millennia, not just decades, not centuries, but thousands of years. It looks like these people came to us from another Earth age, that they survived it. This is not the New World Order. This is the old world order brought forward, repackaged, and marketed to you as if it's something new. And it's not. Good day.